Hello, today I'm making a video celebrating my 500th victory with my Warlock deck in Hearthstone. This is the deck I've started out with, mostly because I played as a Warlock in World of Warcraft, so I was very familiar with the cards like Voidwalkers and the spells, so I thought, yeah, this is my style to go, so I sort of took off a lot with the Warlock, and over time it has always been my favorite deck to play. And well, it's named Chaos mostly because demons are chaotic. Warcraft 3, they came, tried to destroy the world, burn, and they eat each other up, and you know, it's hellfire and explosions everywhere. So that's why it's called Chaos. And it has always sort of revolved around the Power Overwhelming, a very powerful card that I remember I got as a noob, and from it I developed my decks also along the basic deck, because, well, it was the first card game I played, other than Fish in the Lake with normal cards, but that doesn't really count. But in any case, I tried to figure out ways to be conservative of the cards rather than just have them die at the end of the turn. So I tried with the Ancient Brewmaster 4-mana Panda guy, threw them back into the deck, and you know, could play them out again and get a lot of value that way. And also I remember I got the Cold Master card. It's a very interesting card that summons one little demon, and with this demon I could either heal myself or just clear some of the other small minions the enemies had, although I remember that usually they had quite big minions like Legendary Ragnaros and Sylvanas and whatnot. But in any case, they were also good subjects to the Power Overwhelming, just because you didn't have to sacrifice a important minion, so to speak. However, eventually, like I said, I faced off a lot of people had those big, interesting legendary cards, and I couldn't really quite beat a lot of people because I got shut down quite hard at the lower ranks, because, you know, everyone had these awesome cards and I had my basic. Well, you know how it is with playing just the basic cards and you don't quite know how to play the game. So eventually, I think it was after some time when GVG was released, I decided, yeah, let's enable myself to buy some card, and I did that, and from there it sort of evolved into a, how to say, more somewhat of a demon lock, as people call it, but still not. It got even more chaotic and just crazy deck, and it led into the Mal'Ganis and Jaraxxus in the very end. But I remember it has been sort of, at one time I had like Twisting Nether, Kel'Thuzad Sad, like so many legendaries. It was this crazy deck. If you didn't finish me off in the early game, it would just kill anyone outright. And this Twisting Nether was a really interesting idea, and the Doomsayer in the start, just playing him on turn 2 gives you the initiative for the next round. It's sort of the same thing with the Twisting Nether, because I killed my Voidcaller and got my Mal'Ganis out or something like that. And of course you kill the entire board. So that was sort of the overpowering idea with those decks. But as you can probably imagine, over time the decks have changed, although I think GVG was one of the most aggressive times in Hearthstone history, so it sort of worked. However, today it's a bit more of a mix between those two. It still has the aspect to clear off minions with smaller minions in the start, a little bit like Suish-like, but it evolves more and more into a demon lock with Dread Steeds in it, which is a very interesting card. I really love those infinite value cards that you can just play over and over and over again. Like Ragnaros, he shoots fireballs without taking damage when he attacks. It's really interesting mechanics. And of course the Sylvanas Windrunner, it's always been a favorite because when she dies, she takes control of minions. And eventually we got the big badass Mal'Ganis at the very end. So the idea of the deck is basically to evolve around the death aspect. When they die, they don't grow weaker. It's one replaces... one death will be replaced by 1000, or something of that thought. And we got our Bane of Dooms, we got our Illidan Stormrage to add some chaos, the Implosions, I think it's one of the most chaotic cards, and we got Hellfire.
Hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to sin.
You could actually... I made a change for not too long ago. It was the Tinkmaster Overspark, as you can see here. Now that I got a lot of 1/1s, he's sort of valuable because he can transform a 1/1 into a 5/5, which isn't too bad. And I used to have Jaraxxus because the meta was so aggressive. I didn't think he got to get played too often. Usually he was just in your hand. But if you want to enable him, then you sort of had to change your strategy. I tried it for a bit, but it didn't work quite out for me. Maybe I was playing it wrong, but try to have some Fury Protectors and Argus dudes to just shield up and bunker up some way. And as you can see, I don't have any anti-kill bots. It's because they're so slow paced. It's like you just stall for one turn or something for the inevitable. It's a 5/5 that doesn't have a big body and just... I think it's a tempo losing card in a Warlock deck. At least this kind of archetype that I'm playing. But in any case, this deck really likes to kill your own minions. You got the Void Terrors, and you can imagine yourself playing it on a Nerubian Egg. The Nerubian Egg trades with something like, who knows, a Knife Juggler. You put the Void Terror on that egg, and all of a sudden you have a 4/4 and a... what's it now? A something. Big dude dog. And yeah, that's really hurtful for the enemy. And that's sort of the idea with the whole deck, to just swarm the enemy with chaotic explosions and deaths and whatnot from both sides. And the Bane of Doom, it's sort of a favorite Magic card of mine. It's not Magic the Gathering, but magical spell. Because it can either be a flop, totally useless, and you're gonna raise your hand, why you? But it's most of the times demons are actually quite good. And when you get like an extra Void Caller or a Doom Guard or a not Sylvanas, she's not a demon, but a Mal'Ganis, then you're quite satisfied. Also, I remember now that I used to try a lot with the Demon Fire, not the Demon Heart, because I thought it was a bit too expensive, but the Demon Fire on those early turns on Flame Imps and Void Walkers could straight up steal some games if the enemies couldn't handle it. And on not Mal'Ganis, on the Jaraxxus, you could make a huge minion with just the Demon Fire. You know, if you get him out from the Void Callers and put a taunt on that, it's like they have to get through another hero to be able to hurt you. So that way you can save a lot of health. So I have been sort of changing from one archetype to the other, basically on what I feel is cool playing, and I really play decks like that are fun to me and not in the current meta too much, because, well, I don't like to copy other decks. I like to have this free creative thought when I play my decks, and feel like, yeah, this is my deck. This is not stapled some other famous dude's deck. It's my deck, and I feel like, yeah, satisfied when I kill people with it. Although it's probably not a competitive deck, but it's a hell of a fun one, I must say. And I think my Warlock decks have some of my funniest moments in this game. And this talk is probably gonna end before the end, but with the new expansions that have come, you might want to change some cards up. I remember the Dark Peddler, I think it's on the... He's probably gonna be a very interesting card for a deck when you want to swarm the board in the early stages of the game. Maybe the Argus will be even better than the Hellfire that I got in my deck as you swarm the board. That is if you skip the Death Rattle minions, or maybe you can mix. Always be creative and try to come up with own ideas. Probably the most rewarding feeling as you play Hearthstone. This is my first golden deck, and I will probably do more of these special videos. I was quite unsure how to make them, but if you have any suggestions, feel free to say something, so I might do a better one for the next time I gain a golden portrait. And there you go. Good luck in your Hearthstone campaign, and have fun. Most important of all.
Hellfire, dark fire. Now, Gypsy, it's your turn. Choose me or your pyre. Be mine or you will burn.
Oh,